Welcome back to Bayview. Last episode was huge. We tackled special events, dominated sponsored drag races, conquered a U.R.L. championship, and continued turning this humble Toyota Corolla into one of the fastest cars in Bayview. But today, before we hit the racetrack, there's something important to check. The more races we win, the more upgrades become available. And if Bayview has decided to reward us with some new performance parts, I'm not about to say no. Because, let's be honest, there's no such thing as too much horsepower. So we're heading to the performance shop to see what surprises might be waiting for us. And if you're enjoying the journey so far, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Nebula Core Gaming, and turn on notifications. We're getting deeper into the career now. The races are getting tougher, the episodes are getting bigger, and the road to 100% completion is only getting more exciting from here. All right, let's see what Bayview has in store for the Corolla today.
Well, that was a quick stop. Only one new upgrade was available, but I've installed the Pro ECU package and given the Corolla a little extra power. Not exactly a shopping spree, but I'll take any performance boost I can get. Now it's time to find out if that upgrade was actually worth the money, because we're heading straight into a circuit race. The car is ready, the track is waiting, and hopefully the competition is ready too.
All right, here we go. The Corolla has a fresh Pro ECU package installed, which means one thing. I've already convinced myself the car is faster. Whether that's actually true or just expensive optimism, we're about to find out. Circuit races are always a good test because there's nowhere to hide. If the car is faster, you'll feel it. If the upgrade did absolutely nothing, well, let's pretend it was a great investment anyway. The lights are green, the race is on. And it's time to see if this Corolla can turn one small upgrade into another big victory. One lap down, 2 to go. And I've got to be honest, if the Pro ECU package is doing anything, it's being extremely polite about it. I was expecting a dramatic transformation. Fireworks, extra speed. Maybe the Corolla suddenly develops teleportation technology. Instead, the car feels pretty much the same. Maybe the upgrade is working behind the scenes. Maybe it's giving us an extra 3 horsepower. Or maybe I just paid a lot of money for a slightly more enthusiastic fuel pump. Either way, we've still got 2 laps left, and the best way to test an upgrade is the same as always. Keep pushing and see what happens. Another circuit race, another win for the Corolla. And the timing couldn't be better because we've just received a magazine cover opportunity nearby. The photographer won't wait forever, so let's head straight over there and see if this Bayview legend is ready for its next photo shoot. All right, the race against the clock is on. We've got a photographer waiting for us, and apparently he's a very busy man because he's not sticking around for long. The destination isn't too far away, but in Bayview, even a short drive can turn into chaos if traffic decides to join the party. The Corolla has already proven it can win races. Now let's see if it can make an appointment on time. Foot down, eyes on the road, and let's get to that photo shoot before our future magazine cover drives away. And we've made it. The photographer got his shots, the Corolla gets another magazine appearance, and that's one more special event checked off the list. Not bad for a car that started its journey as a humble economy machine. But there's no time to admire the photos, because our next challenge is right around the corner. We're heading to a Street X race, where tight corners, quick reactions, and clean driving matter a lot more than raw horsepower. Let's see if this Corolla can handle the chaos as well as it handles the spotlight. Another race, another victory. The Street X event is in the books, and now we've got a completely different challenge ahead of us. The next photo shoot requires a 3-star visual rating, and right now I'm not sure if the Corolla is flashy enough to make the cut. So we're heading over to the body shop to give the car a bit of a makeover. Maybe it needs a new body kit, maybe a spoiler, maybe some shiny new parts that add absolutely 0 horsepower but somehow impress magazine photographers. The big question is, can we push this Corolla up to a 3-star visual rating? Or are we about to discover that Bayview's judges are tougher than the racers? Let's find out. Well, the Corolla definitely looks meaner now. We fitted a new front bumper, rear bumper, side skirts, and even upgraded the headlights to give the car a fresher look. The good news? Our visual rating jumped from 1.37 stars to 1.83 stars, meaning there's still work to do. Apparently, Bayview's magazine judges are harder to impress than the racers on the track. Still, progress is progress, and the Corolla is starting to look like a proper street machine now. But enough posing in the body shop. The next sprint race is waiting, and unlike magazine photographers, the competition won't care how good the car looks. Let's get back on the road and see if we can turn this style upgrade into another win. That's another sprint race win added to the collection. The Corolla might not be magazine cover material yet, but it's definitely proving itself where it matters most, on the racetrack. The victories keep coming, the bank account keeps growing, and the road to 100% completion keeps moving forward. But there's no time to slow down, because our next circuit race is already waiting. More laps, more corners, and another chance to show Bayview why this Corolla has become one of the toughest cars on the streets. Let's head over there and keep this winning streak alive. All right, let's make things a little more interesting. Instead of charging into turn 1, I've decided to give the entire field a head start. Because apparently winning races normally isn't stressful enough.
The rest of the grid is already disappearing down the road while I'm sitting back here playing the role of Bayview's most generous racer. Now, the challenge is simple. Can the Corolla chase everyone down and still take the win? We've got plenty of laps ahead of us. But every second we give away now is another second we'll have to earn back later. The hunt is officially on.
Well, so much for giving them a head start. I thought we'd have a proper chase on our hands, but the Corolla had other ideas. A couple of corners later, we've already caught the entire field and taken the lead. At this point, that head start lasted about as long as a free sample at a food court. The opponents got a brief taste of first place, but now it's back to business as usual. We've got clean air ahead, the race is under control. The real challenge might be trying not to get too comfortable out here. Still, there's a long way to go yet, so let's keep the pressure on and make sure this lead stays exactly where it belongs. And after nearly 7 minutes of racing, the checkered flag is finally ours. That wasn't just a race, that was a full endurance test. The Corolla stayed strong, the lead stayed secure, and another victory goes into the record books. Honestly, after 7 minutes of turning left and right, I think both the car and I deserve a coffee break. But Bayview doesn't believe in breaks, because our next challenge is already waiting. We're heading to a U.R.L. event, where the competition is tougher, the races are longer, and every position matters. Time to see if this winning streak can survive one of the biggest challenges in Underground 2.
All right, U.R.L. time. We've just finished a 7-minute circuit race, and now Bayview has decided that what I really needed was even more racing. Unlike normal events, this isn't just about winning one race. Every position earns points, and those points carry over throughout the event. One mistake here can come back to haunt you later. The good news? The Corolla has been on an absolute tear lately. Sprints, circuits, street X, drag races, we've been collecting wins all over Bayview. The bad news? U.R.L. events tend to attract the toughest competition, and they're usually a lot less interested in handing over first place. So, let's settle in, find our rhythm, and start this championship the right way. The lights are green, the engines are screaming, and race 1 is underway.
Race 1 complete, and that's a win. Maximum points, exactly the start we were looking for. Now let's carry that momentum into race 2.
All right, I've officially lost my mind. Last race, I gave the opponents a head start. This race, I've decided to give them an even bigger one by doing donuts behind the starting line while they're already racing. Look at them. They're halfway to the next postal code, and I'm over here turning tires into smoke and making absolutely zero progress toward the finish line. At this point, this isn't a race strategy. This is a public demonstration of overconfidence. The good news? We already won race 1. The bad news? I'm about to find out exactly how much of a head start is too much. Alright, fun's over. Let's see if the Corolla can turn this terrible life decision into another victory.
Well, that didn't go according to plan. I gave the entire field a head start, spent my time doing donuts at the start line, and somehow I've already taken the lead. The opponents must be absolutely confused right now. Imagine getting a free advantage, watching me spin in circles, and then seeing the Corolla fly past a few seconds later. At this point, I'm starting to think the biggest threat in this race is my own boredom. Anyway, the lead is ours again. Let's see if we can finish this race before the rest of the field figures out what just happened. And that's where we're wrapping up episode 10. Today was a busy one. We installed a new Pro ECU package, chased down another magazine photoshoot challenge, upgraded the Corolla's appearance, picked up more race wins, survived a 7-minute circuit race, and finished things off by dominating a U.R.L. championship. And somehow, after giving the entire field a huge head start and doing donuts behind the starting line, we still managed to take the win. I honestly don't know whether that's impressive or just disrespectful. The best part is that we're only getting started. The races are getting longer, the competition is getting tougher, and from this point forward, Bayview is going to throw even bigger challenges our way. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Nebula Core Gaming, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next step of our road to 100% completion journey. And I've got a challenge for you guys. What's the craziest head start you think I could give my opponents and still win the race? 1 lap? 30 seconds? Or should I stop for a coffee before the green flag? Drop your answers in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Until then, keep the wheels turning and keep chasing that next victory. Goodbye from Bayview.